All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Francine, and I'm here with my channel, The Hermetic Herald, and I'm here for another channeled message and tarot reading. So I feel like I need to come back on here because there's some parts that are coming and unfolding with regards to Steve Harvey and Marjorie Harvey's, the rumors, the gossip surrounding their relationship. And I feel like in order for us to understand it, it's important that we look at all of the parts, all of the information that's coming through. So in my last video, I had a disclaimer for the reading on Marjorie and on Steve, surrounding the rumors and about them speaking out about it and saying that it was dispelled, or rather just saying everything's fine recently. So I feel like there's a message that needs to come through in regards to other parts of this and components of this message, because I feel as though there's a person involved, a friend of his named Ned Nwoko, and I want to touch base with Ned and with Steve because I believe strongly that you need to understand friendship and the dynamic between two people in order to come from a place of trying to dispel a rumor. Okay, we have friends, right? We have close friends. We have friends that are kind of like, you know, superficial people we meet at work that we don't really know very well. It all is, there's a range. What I'm feeling really strongly is that there's a dynamic between these two people, between Steve Harvey and Ned Nwoko, that's important to understand so that you can actually take the information and insight that you receive from Ned and actually take it seriously. So I feel like there's something Spirit wants to talk about, and I'm going to be as honest, upfront, raw, and real as I can possibly be. And if I see something that says, oh, you know, this is what's happened, and it's actually contrary to anything that I'm feeling or seeing, I'm gonna say it, because I feel like that there's no point in me trying to perpetuate a story that's not actually true. So the only thing that I can do here is read what the cards say and go with that. Okay, so thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for being present with me here today. I'm going to start putting timestamps in readings more often so that you guys are able to go straight to the reading or straight to whatever it is that you're coming for. So I want to respect people's time and energy, but I also want to respect the fact that this is my channel and I do want to orient it in the way that I see fit for my content. Okay, so it's a balancing effect here. So thank you guys for being here. Let's tune in. I want to do a new spread. I want to do more of a free flow. I want to see what Spirit brings out and then see whatever cards are needed for this message. So between the two of them, the overall energy that we're getting here are 3 cards. We're getting the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups, when you see that, it's typically about moving on to something more emotionally fulfilling. It means taking, I'm hearing backpacking, like when you're taking a number of things that you've experienced and you're leaving what you don't need anymore. So there's something about leaving what's not important, leaving certain things to the wayside. And I feel like that's important for you to note, that there's this emotional release that's coming, or it has been experienced by the two of them. We're going to see what kind of dynamic they have and what their vibrations are towards each other. But for now, Spirit wants to highlight that they're moving on to something more emotionally fulfilling. We also have here the Queen of Wands, which is an energy of someone who is entrepreneurial, someone who is business oriented, someone who has made their life from the ground, they did it from the ground up. They weren't born into privilege or anything like that. This is someone who's made their life what it is because of their hard work and their talent and the people they met along the way as well. We also have the 9 of Swords. So when you have all 3 of these, right, the 9 of Swords indicating worry, anxieties, a lot of things coming to the surface. This person here is moving out of the energy of moving into the energy of finding emotional stability, of finding passion in their work, and also eliminating the fear. So there's this energy of like a really important relationship brewing between these two people, of them coming to a place of meeting in the middle is what I'm hearing. So there's like a camaraderie about them where they like they have a passion and a focus and a goal and an initiative, and they're moving out of emotionally unsatisfying situations. And they're also trying to move out of this. They're trying to take it head on, actually, is what I'm getting. It's like taking on the fears and the worries head on. So they kind of encourage each other. That's the energy I'm getting between them already. Let's see what's going on though. So at the bottom of the deck is the Sun, the Six of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Yeah. So a lot of resources. Each of them, Ned towards Steve and Steve towards Ned, they have a very reciprocal relationship where they give to each other, and it's like a giving of resources, but also of time, of energy, of love. There's like a soulmate energy here. Soulmates can take on many forms. I just want to preface this by stating that your soulmates can be your pets, it can be a family member, it could be a lover, someone you meet in this life or in other lives. So I really feel strongly there's a soulmate connection here between the two of them, and it's brought a lot of insight, clarity, and understanding, but also it's been like a transferring of wealth in a number of forms, not just physical wealth, but spiritual wealth, insight, information. Okay, interesting. So really cool energy, addressing karma. Yeah. They're also business partners, it feels like, in some way, or they've at least wanted to establish a business or work on something together. Spirit, let's start off with Ned. What is Ned's feelings towards, let's see, what are his external feelings towards Steve Harvey? Thank you, spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What are Ned's external feelings? External feelings towards Steve Harvey. Okay. All right. So we have at the bottom of the deck the Page of Swords. Usually the energy of the Page of Swords is someone who could be a little bit immature with their energy and speaking. Like maybe they don't feel like it's their strong suit. They're kind of immature in it, but they do spark conversation, or they do speak. I'm also getting that this is someone who speaks briefly, so I feel like Ned is like a brief talker. Like between the two of them, he doesn't talk quite as much as Steve. We also have the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Cups here. So there's a feeling, a sense of like there being a contract too, because when you think of the Page of Swords, that can also denote a contract between two people. When I see, the reason why I'm feeling like it could be a contract as well is because of the Wheel of Fortune, because I think of destiny, I think of fate, and I feel like he's very emotionally fulfilled by this relationship, and it's a very great partnership for him. I feel like it also comes with a number of benefits. I'm hearing a League of Nations. So something about nations, he feels like he can resonate and partner with Steve in some way. Okay. So I'm getting here with the Six of Swords. Typically the Six of Swords denotes moving on to calmer waters. Okay, so what's interesting is that I feel like my throat chakra commonly is being impacted by the messages I'm getting. Because when I usually have an issue, despite drinking, getting hydrated, staying hydrated, it feels like no matter what, my throat chakra will express something that's not being said here. And as I was taking a second to calm myself down and to actually like say, okay, I need to go back into this, I was hearing construction company. I was seeing a man in with a tough hat on, or like a hard hat, screaming and yelling directions to someone. So I'm not sure if they're working in construction together, or if they have a history of construction in the past, like they used to be construction workers, and maybe not together, but in their own separate pasts, they both have that in common. Please let me know in the comments below. But I'm feeling like there's some kind of construction being worked on. And I'm also getting the energy of the number 256. I've had this number come through a number of readings that I've done. And what's interesting is that 256 is Alabama. Now, typically Alabama, when I think of Alabama, there's a number of things you can think of. Okay, but what I think of first is the tendency of people from like people saying and joking about Alabama and this like thing with dating your cousin or dating a family member, or it being very like the background, like the families there intermingling and having children and it being weird. Why is that coming? I have no idea why that's coming up here, but like there's something about family and the way they're perceived, and also construction being a part of their past. So it's like there's like so many different levels to this. Like I feel like they connect on certain things that they've learned in their past, or certain experiences that they've had. Because we have the six, I was about to say the Two of Pentacles. We have the Six of Swords. Two of Pentacles is about balance. Six of Swords is usually about going from tumultuous waters into the calm, into the calmness, into refuge. I'm hearing refuge come through. We have the Seven of Wands, standing your ground. It's like seeing what you have and that you have safe harbor, coming in and trying to defend that. Something long-standing, something that has been very arduous. It feels like this person is pressing on. So his external vibe towards Steve is that he feels like he's a very persistent and resilient person that's trying to move into calmer waters, that's also looking at his legacy, that's looking at his past. What's interesting is I feel like with the 6 and 7, it's like he sees Steve as progressing through life. He sees him as, it's like he sees him doing all of these amazing things and trying to promote or focus on his legacy, and he respects that. I think he sees the longevity of his career path as well. So he just sees him as a very protective person as well towards him, and a protective person in general towards people he cares about. And I also feel like he sees him as someone that is like safe harbor for him. So it's a good energy. Very good energy. Yeah, Justice. So yeah, he feels like he's his justice, basically. He feels like this relationship has been justice, has been balancing for him. He feels like he's a very balanced individual. He agrees with a number of his viewpoints with regards to religion, it feels like, because when I think of justice and I see the 7s here, it's taking me to a place of like seeing the omnipotence of something, seeing like the power of God, the power of creation, because I think of the number 7 representing so many things. And I feel like the number 7 is really important here to note. It's like perfect timing, perfect everything, divine timing at work. And he sees Steve Harvey as being his good luck. Yeah, his temperance. Okay. All right, so that's his external vibe. What is his internal vibe towards him? And I'm hearing 1-4. So we'll see what that's about. Yeah, internally he sees him as the Empress, very abundant person. He sees him as the 8 of Pentacles, as a work partner, someone that is very hardworking, very abundant in his work. I feel this card strongly. The Hermit, yeah, very wise, a sage. He sees him as a very wise person, a wise countenance is what I'm hearing. Are there any other internal messages here? Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. What's interesting is this is coming out with Queens and Empress, which is a very feminine vibe, which is like his energy of receiving. He's very good at receiving and nurturing other people, or is growing into that. He feels a nurturing vibe towards him. Queen of Pentacles is generous, being a generous person. He sees him as a very generous individual, very abundant, a great business partner, someone that is wise, or at least has learned a lot of lessons in the dark, because the Hermit has to go into a darker place or isolate in order to understand and to achieve enlightenment here. Okay, we also have the Page of Wands. He sees him also as a doer. This is the only more so immature card of the 5 that we got so far. This is the energy of having ideas and wanting to execute them, wanting to try things out. He's a very young energy in that regard. He has ideas that he wants to take into account. We also have the Tower. I don't know why I'm saying Interesting. I'm hearing downfall. This led to his downfall, or he feels like internally towards him, like he can lead to his downfall, the relationship with him. Tower is a huge upheaval. It's about like transformation. A lot of transformation has occurred in this relationship with him. He sees him as someone who makes a lot of things happen. In what way though? Two of Wands. Yeah, in preparation for something. Like if they want to have a business, if they're doing something with regards to business, and this is coming through. Yeah, they're business partners, guys, in something. Can you guys let me know in the link below or in the comments below if you know this? But they are business partners in some regard, and I feel like they're trying to do something really big here. He sees him as someone who can bring about a lot of change and upheaval. And he sees him as a planner, someone he can plan and invest time and energy into in order to achieve something. So they have some initiative together, and I'm feeling this card strongly. Let's see. It's the Nine of Pentacles and the Knave of Cups, or the Page of Cups. They have like some dreams here, a dream in particular that is going to be very beneficial. It's like a business of some sort. And I'm feeling like this is an individual business that he might partner with, that he's helped pay for, Steve Harvey. And he's recognizing that it's helped him. Steve has imparted the money, the finances to get something on the ground or to get it rolling. I'm hearing senator. So I don't know if it's something in regards to like the government or the legal system. That's coming through. Regulations is coming through. Something to regulate something. Regulation. Okay, so we have an idea of what he thinks and how he feels, but I'd like to touch base with what Steve Harvey externally is feeling. What is Steve Harvey externally feeling? We have the Nine of Cups. He feels a lot of joy towards him. A lot of gratitude is what I'm hearing. He feels a lot of joy in emotionally fulfilled, because we saw the Eight of Cups earlier. Okay, that was their energy together. So he feels like he's found a friend, he's found a confidant, he's found someone he can really trust in him, in Ned. And also he has the Two of Pentacles. He feels like he finds balance. He finds balance in him. They help balance each other out is what I'm hearing. We also have the Four of Swords. He sees him externally as a safe harbor, as a place of rest, where he can just be. And I'm hearing I do. So it's like, I don't know, someone's agreeing with me here. Okay, we also have Eight of Wands. He's someone that he's very communicative with. He's very communicative with Ned. Yeah, Three of Cups. Look at this friendship, man. This is some friendship, because we have the Three of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Four of Cups. They help each other through like difficult feelings or emotions. When they're feeling down, they'll reach out to each other, and it lifts them up. It encourages them. Very encouraging and balancing energy here coming through. Okay, so that's externally how he feels. What does he feel internally towards Ned Nwoko? Please give us insight, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, towards Ned Nwoko. Towards Steve. Why am I getting, I'm saying Ned so many times. Steve feels internally the Knight of Wands. He feels, interesting. Let's wait till the rest come out. What does Steve feel internally towards Ned? I'm hearing 6 again. We also have the Queen of Cups, very nurturing energy. What is, oh, interesting. This flipped out in reverse. Oh, okay. I feel this card really strongly. The Devil. Okay. Oh, wow. So I'm getting some words here. As I was going, I felt in my heart, in my gut, that I needed to wait, because I felt like there was more to the story. And sometimes you need to wait till all the cards are on the table before you say anything. But I'm going to say it. I feel like he feels like he gives more to him. I feel like Ned receives a lot from this relationship. I feel like he emotionally gets a lot of laughs and fun times with him. Like I can see them drinking, I can see them hanging out, I can see them like having fun. Steve emotionally gets something from him, but I feel like Ned gets emotional and material wealth from Steve more so. And I feel like there's an imbalance there, because if the Devil and the Six of Pentacles in reverse is here, that tells me there's not an equal give and take, and he's not getting something in return for what he's giving. I feel like there's some vice that he's had to help Ned with. Now, this is going to get real controversial, because what I'm going to say, okay, if you're not ready to hear what I have to say, I would recommend not watching the rest. Most people can't resist that, but I'm really trying to tell you that, because that's all I can do. I feel like Ned specifically has some gambling addictions. We're going to see if that comes through in the archetype deck, but I'm hearing gambling addiction. And what I'm feeling is that he tends to be very like quick to do something and to get into stuff. And I feel like Steve has almost been the person to be like, wait, did you think about that? Like very nurturing, very kind energy. Like with the Queen of Cups, I think of like a mom, like sitting him on his lap and saying, Ned is like, can I go over there? Can I get that? I want to do that. I want to do this. And it's like, have you thought about it? Maybe you shouldn't, because I feel like a very youthful, like really fast energy. You know, when you're passionate about something, we all, I mean, most people I feel are passionate about something. Not everyone, but like I feel like that's coming through. There's like a passion for something, but he tends to try to like reel it in and emotionally address what's going on and why. He helps him get into balance. Steve helps Ned get into balance. I feel this card. This is the Emperor. Okay, so he feels like a very dictator type energy. At times, I feel like Ned tends to be like the alpha in the relationships that he's in. I don't know these relationships, but I feel like he might just be involved with like dominating females or dominate. I don't even like saying females. Why did I say females? Someone here says females, and that's why I'm getting that. So dominating women or dominating his relationships, not a good energy to get. So he sees that in Ned. Ned seems to come off this way. This also wants to come through the Death card. Wow. Okay. He needs to be careful with Ned, because Ned feels like he's like a raucous. I'm hearing R-A-U-C-O-U-S, like a very like, his laughter is boisterous. He's a fun person, but I feel like he has some darker aspects that need to be addressed, and we're going to talk about those. So he feels like he brings balance to him, Steve to Ned here, okay? Yeah, he offers love to him. He offers the truth to him, but it's like he cares for him, but I feel as though there's like an energy he's dealing with that is not beneficial. Let's look at this. Let's look at what's helping, what is affecting the situation here between these two. Okay, we have the Sun, joy, we have the Ten of Swords, wow, okay, and we have the Two of Cups. Okay. They've been through some really hard times. That's what's holding them together. They remember the difficulties that they've experienced, and that's what reminds them like, hey, we're best friends, because we've been through really tough times together. Remember that divorce I went through? Remember this or that I went through? We understand because we've seen each other at our lowest. That is what helps bring them or keep them together. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. We came into a lot of fortune together. Look at what we've grown, how we've grown. Look at how we met. It was so fated. There's like a fated energy here. And I'm getting 838, so I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if that's like an area code that's relevant, but that's coming through, 838. So if you feel led to, please let me know what that is. I will look it up anyway if I can after the reading. Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck, the Hanged Man, and the Three of Swords. Going through a lot of loss and seeing things in a hugely different light because you had someone there with you. What is the bottom line between these two? The King of Swords, the truth, clarity. At the end of the day, this relationship brought them a lot of clarity. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Clarity out of like a really confusing situation. They brought each other, it was almost like they gave each other a lot of advice about really difficult situations. Really difficult situations that they had issues sticking, I'm hearing sticking to. So what did they have like a hard time sticking to? They would kind of push each other to get through it. And I feel like this has to do with drinking. I'm feeling like I'm seeing sobriety here. Like someone who's like at an AA meeting and is like, I'm going through and dealing with alcoholism. I feel like that's coming through here strongly. Like that sense of there's something, a vice that we need to address. Someone here was dealing with that. And I feel like it's more so Ned from Steve's energy and how he feels towards him. Three of Pentacles, working together, partnerships. The bottom line is they're going to remain friends. They're going to remain confidants. They're going to remain protective of each other. They're fighters. They're going to fight together is what I'm getting. Is there anything else, Spirit? I'm feeling these two. Okay. We have the Judgment card. We have the Three of Swords. With the Judgment card and the Three of Swords, they acknowledge each other's pain. They address pain, address difficulties and vices that they've experienced. I'm hearing the same line I've been hearing in past videos. The lines are going to be severed and cut. So I don't know if like some of these celebrities are going through very similar patterns. But I wonder if this relationship is going to be cut. Okay, because judgment is coming in for them. Judgment. There's going to be a judgment call that someone has to make in this relationship. And it feels like it's so... I hear 56. It's going to fall on Steve, I feel like. I'm not sure if they want me to take that or not. But that's coming through. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. This feels like Steve. Can you give me an idea of Steve's light attributes? Okay, what are Steve's light attributes? Okay, we're just going to take one. Okay, what are Steve's shadow attributes? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Just that one. What are Steve's shadow attributes? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh wow, a lot of energy for Steve. So we had 3 cards come through. Okay, we had Damsel come out first. This was understanding the nature of healthy romance. It inspires you to rely on yourself. He may have been a hopeless romantic in the beginning. He used to be very caught up in emotions, a lot of like cups energy, water energy. It feels as though he's learned how to have a healthy perspective on romance and not to get himself, I'm hearing, get his head in the clouds too much. Thinking that some relationship is going to save him, like the damsel in distress in this photo. So he's gotten out of this energy of relying on someone to make him happy. Now he sees that it's important to rely on yourself for your own happiness. Good, great energy. With light attributes, it's going to be more positive. It's going to be positive, basically. So let's continue here with the gossip. So we have someone who is awakening consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. He's a very trustworthy person. He does not betray confidences. He likes to keep things secretive. If there is a secret that you have, he takes it very seriously. He's not going to tell anyone. He likes to honor trust at all times. We also have healer, passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. He has a tendency of also being a healer. Makes sense with his background, because I do know of his religious background, but I feel as though he has a passion for being positive and repairing people's minds, their mindsets, their body, their spirit. He likes to go through the whole approach. Triune, I'm hearing, like triune spirit, triune approach of looking at all facets of a person. Ability to help transform pain into healing. So he's a very healing energy. Nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful. We have, excuse me, 4 things though for his shadow attributes. We have monk none, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. Typically people that are involved, I'm not gonna like try to put a label on everyone, but I feel as though from my experience personally with religion and coming from a very religious background, this is easy for someone to get into, this energy of negative judgment of the physical world, even negative judgment of your body, and not seeing it as enough or not seeing it as worthy. Back in the day, monks used to actually prior to the Protestant Reformation, they used to actually strike their backs with whips. I can't recall the name. I think it's a cattail. And they used to do that to feel the pain, right? To see the to sense freedom of not being restricted by their body. And there's something about him having excess piety in either humiliating or not really giving himself up to his body, to his bodily appetites, to things like that. Sometimes some people have a very narcissistic, a very like masochistic approach to the body. They see it as a vessel of sin rather than it being something that's carrying you through this life. There needs to be balance in that energy, because you can easily hurt yourself for the purposes of getting closer to God. And that's really, really a dangerous slope to get down. So I feel as though he doesn't really respect the physical world and the physical manifestations. He may even see someone that's really attractive, and I wonder if sometimes he just has a sense of like, oh God, I have to pray about this because I just looked at this person in a certain way. And it's like the physical world is like evil. It's like that sense of like there's something wrong with the physical world and I have to be of the spirit. This is a really destabilized energy. This is usually someone who is not representing balance and equality with their body and their spirit. They're not allowing themselves to focus on all 3, which begs the question of, no offense, this is going to trigger somebody, but how can you be a healer and not respect and heal your physical body, or pay attention to your physical body? Paying attention to your physical body is more than just praying about it. I feel like someone here needs to know where I stand on that. I feel like the body is not inherently or innately evil, and that's what he's kind of feeling. The physical world is not as important. Destroyer is here. Intoxication with destructive power. Destroying others' dreams or potential. He has a tendency of, like I've said for Drake, who got this, he got this attribute as well. He has a tendency of burning bridges quickly. If he doesn't like something you're doing, just like we saw in the news, he will fire you. He's something about something I'm going to insert in this is that people that tend to have worked themselves from the bottom up tend to be pretty harsh, because they've been treated harsh. So I feel as though there's this energy of like, I've been through a lot of crap in my life, and I worked my way up here, right? By the grace of God is what I'm hearing. So I'm feeling like I'm tapping into his energy, and it's like, I got to this place, you can get to this place too with the work and effort you do. If you're not going to give me the energy or the work that I have given to other people like that, if you're not going to show the same focus, I'm going to fire you. I'm not going to give you a ticket to something. I want you to work for it. I feel like he has a really harsh perspective towards people with regards to ending things. He ends like potential in other people, like jobs or certain things that come across their path with him. It's a very like... It's not good to be a healer and a destroyer in the sense of like you can be those things, but it feels like this is pretty intrusive. This affects you healing people, okay? It affects how you perceive people too. If you see people as being replaceable all the time, I mean, it's easy to destroy them. I feel like that's coming through. We also have lover, obsession or obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. Wow. Okay. he has like I'm not sure like if I should say this. I'm feeling like he has a blocked chakra, a blocked sacral chakra. I feel like he wants sex all the time, a lot. Very overactive energy. I'm getting devil energy, like he's addicted to sex. That's the energy I'm getting from this card. And that can harm other people, right? Because if you're engaging in these acts with other people, right, and they're not feeling the same way or feeling as interested, it can affect the relationship if you let it, if there isn't communication and there isn't understanding between the two of them. You can't just always expect communication to do everything. You need to act on what you hear and see and what you're saying. So there needs to be like an agreement between two parties, of course, consensually, I hope, for this to be something to work on. I feel like it's overactive and they're trying to highlight that for some reason. So having a very destructive energy and also being a monk nun, like excess piety, that's like a really that's someone who's bound to get triggered by sex, bound to get triggered by the physical world, bound to get triggered by also people that reject them. If you reject someone with these three archetypes, I sense that the person would likely go out and find someone to be with, because if you're not providing them with what they want, right, the love that they are giving you, and then you're also a destructive person who burns bridges very easily, and you also think you're pious, that's a combination for like a mess. Okay, I'm just gonna say it, like, that's crazy that these three came out for him. We also have athlete as the karmic archetype. That is misuse of athletic abilities for selfish ends. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Wow. So he just he's not as realistic about himself and what he can do and what he can endure. Sometimes he takes on way too much than he can actually endure, and he says it's okay because he has to look strong or he has to look invulnerable in front of certain people, but that is actually a shadow attribute. That's something to heal. Okay. So we have at the bottom of the deck here, slave, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Shadow is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own decisions. Okay, he has to be wary of giving himself, his body, everything to an external force and not making his own decisions, of just merely being a slave to someone. We also have Avenger and Rebel. So we have someone who really enjoys vengeance or justice. If this is out of whack, the person is very vengeful, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Now he just got these cards. These could be attributes that come in and out, so I'm not going to take them as strongly as these, but here we have Rebel as well. Challenges authority to affect social change. He has a bit of a rebel streak. He likes and focuses on being just. He just has to be careful with not being vengeful, because I feel as though he has like this energy towards anything that's not of God, specifically, is what I'm feeling. It's like he's vengeful towards it. He wants it to fail. He wants even the people that are not on God's side, I'm hearing, to fail. And I feel like they're trying to highlight his energy to us because it'll help us see where he's coming from with his relationship with Ned. He's very like observant, nurturing, gives advice. I think he gives more of this kind of advice of not focusing on your body, focusing more on God, or focusing on your spirit. And he's a very good confidant, okay? Now what is, yeah, he probably can help him a lot through love, in the sense of like experiencing a number of things and learning lessons with women. So that's coming through. I feel these cards are coming through for his light attribute. Spirit, what light attributes would you like to show for Ned Nwoko? Okay. Excuse me. Are there any other light attributes? Okay. Yeah. No? Not. We should know that he is a visionary though, okay? Spirit wants to highlight that. but it's not something that they're going to focus on. All right. So we have here 4 things for the light attributes. Can I have shadow attributes for him? Oh, wow. Okay. They put the visionary in the shadow. Okay. All right. Should I take this? I'll take that. Are there any other spirit guides, angels, ancestors? Any other shadow attributes? I'm hearing 1, 2. And we're going to look at the bottom in a second. We have 4 light attributes for him. We have mentor. So he's a mentor, passing on wisdom and refining a student's nature. He's a mentor. He focuses on how he can assist students, how he can show a side, a loving side, doting side on someone who's going through something. I see how they relate. Steve and him are very similar in the sense that they try to heal people. They try to help and pass on wisdom. We also have goddess. We have the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life, force, and sensuality. He's a more feminine energy. He's open to the feminine energy more. And I don't know if it's about because he's around a lot of women as well, or people that utilize or use or embody feminine energy, but he's very open to the feminine energy in life. He might even say like nature is she, or he may address things more in a matriarchal way, like history or experiences. He may have a background with women mostly in his life of raising him. We also have shapeshifter, skill at navigating consciousness or navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. A very open mind in comparison here. We also have enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social empathy or social awareness and empathy. He's a very open person comparatively. I feel as though he's not quite as strong in his faith in comparison to Steve. I feel like Steve is a lot more in his shadow attributes with religion, more so. And you can be in your light attribute with religion. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes people get triggered by what I say because they're seeing what they think they want, what they think other people feel, and get really defensive. So if you're getting defensive, you should probably click out. That's okay. I really want to come from a place of recognizing that he's open. When you're open, you're actually going to receive a lot more information and insight on the world and on God and on all of these things. When you're closed off and you're entering into like excess piety and like pride, you're choking it out. You're actually not really finding much more than yourself and your shadow, okay? Someone here needs to recognize that. Some people have a perception of Steve, and they have to recognize that he's not going to fit into our little boxes. He's going to be beyond that, and this is only going to give like a very small opening or like hole for you to see. You will not know him in his entirety unless you are around him. Okay, so recognize this reading is going to go longer for that reason, but there's so much more. Okay, this is just what we should know. So he's a very open energy here. We have angel. Okay, so we have these 4. Let's move into those. Visionary as the shadow attribute is the first one. So selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. So he's a compromiser in comparison. He comes from a place, Steve, of being more pious and more strong in his faith and being more resolute in his faith. He comes from a place of compromising at times just for the sake of the cause, like if there's a cause that they're behind, or if it's like political matters and wanting to make sure that he actually, he doesn't offend too many people. He tends to be more open and more easygoing in regards to his vision and what he feels, in order for it to be palatable for people. Okay. We also have martyr. Interesting. Addiction to self-pity. Wow. So this energy is telling me he had a low self-esteem for quite some time. And I wonder, I'm hearing sharpened, like he sharpened, Steve's sharpened Ned and helped him feel more confident and resolute and more confident in himself. I feel as though he has a confidence, but I feel like he had to deal early on with a lot of self-pity. of feeling like left out, abandoned, of feeling not like he's enough, of always looking down on himself and thinking, oh, I didn't do it, I didn't do the right thing, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And Spirit's highlighting that. Self, you know, prostrating is what I'm hearing. I was hearing that earlier. Okay, so we also have child divine coming through. Shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. He was very prone. It's like he was very, he didn't have any defense mechanisms, not much in place. So when people would like try to attack him, it was easy to do that. And he would kind of like lay prostrate. And I'm getting a lot of images of like someone that's beating someone. So I'm not sure if he went through abuse when he was young. Trigger warning. There seems to be like an essence of him like having a lower self-esteem because of the abuse of others. Of feeling like, especially with a parent or a figure, a parent here, they felt like they were controlled by them. And I don't know if it was like he was not feeling like he was, I don't know, was he the youngest child? It almost seems like he felt like he took on something when he was being disciplined. It's like he came to a deep truth or a feeling about himself that was not correct. It was like a sense of pity, a sense of lessness, of not being enough. And it's really sad to see that. So he's not really as defensive of himself or protective of his energy as he should be. That's the energy that's coming through. He has a lot of great ideas, a lot of potential, a lot of... I feel like people saw him as more feminine when he was younger, perhaps. And that was affecting him. It helped shape him. I feel like, I don't know if he went through like maybe... not understanding his sexuality as well, but there's something about that here. Like, I'm not feeling like a man or feeling enough. Child wounded is here. This is blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Yeah, holding on to a lot of offenses and holding on to pain in the past. I'm hearing abandoned, like he was abandoned or he felt abandoned by someone. And it was like he felt like he didn't have someone, a shoulder to cry on or someone to be with. And he kind of internalized that and felt like all of this was because of his parents or because of someone else. And he never really like addressed it until later. I'm hearing 54. I don't know how old he is. But yeah, that's coming through. So he has a very like wounded energy, and I feel like Steve has a more like excess piety energy. So it's really interesting the dynamic between these two. Okay. Rescuer. Yeah. Provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. He likes to help people because he feels like he didn't receive that help. Okay. And then at the bottom here, we have escapism and a false sense of heroism. Yeah, escaping your own healing process to help other people. Some people, some of the most powerful politicians and such, I feel, some of them have a difficulty in addressing their own traumas, but they like to defend other people. And it's coming from a good place. But I feel like when they address their own traumas and they address their own pain, they actually would make a lot more change than just trying to help people, because you have to understand your own pain. There's something about that coming through. Ned needs to understand his own pain and come to grips with it and not blame it on everyone else. Okay, like he's the victim here. Victim mentality is coming through for him. Okay, we have here one card. It's 3 of Pentacles. So they do have a very strong friendship. But I want to ask this question, Spirit. Is what Ned Nwoko said true? Like, is it true that, let's see, is it true that the rumors are false? Is it true? Is what Ned Nwoko said true? Like, is he speaking truly out of like what he knows and telling us what it is. So yeah, this is also another card. So we have the Chariot, we have the Four of Wands. Yeah, he is. He's really convinced. He's convinced of this. He's convinced that they're happy. He's convinced that they're good. The Two of Cups is here. He's convinced that they're a couple, that they're together, and they're going to get through it. And the Six of Pentacles, it's about balance, equal give and take. He believes that they're very well balanced. Sun is at the bottom of the deck here. We have the Sun and the Moon and balance. Yeah, like balancing the dark and the light. That they're like really good at balancing each other out here. Yeah, Tower. Yeah. So it seems as though he truly believes it. Is there any insight and anything else that we would need to know about Ned Nwoko? Is there anything else that you would like to tell us, Spirit? Is there any information or insight that you'd like to share in regards to Ned Nwoko? About what the situation is all about? Okay. Okay, so something flipped here. All right. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Four of Pentacles, holding on to information and insight. He's very protective of his energy, very protective of what insight he gives and shares with people. Like we said with the networker attribute, he likes to share information to enhance unity. And I feel like he wants to have a unified approach with Steve. He wants to focus on being a good friend and holding on to any information, insight that would give people a reason to doubt what's being said, okay? We're also getting the Page of Cups here, which is about an energy of like a love. It's a very sweet energy towards someone. This is the sense of like someone offering their cup of love, and there's like a feeling of like love, camaraderie, peace, wanting peace, well-being for everyone involved, okay? Now, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, interesting. With the Nine of Pentacles and Three of Swords, I'm feeling very strongly I need to sage here. Okay, so let's sage, get this space cleared out again. Okay, because unfortunately, if you guys can hear that, some people are fighting. Okay. And so we have something going on here with the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. What that's telling me, and I'm going to put it here, for them and for us. All right. Nine of Pentacles is about independence. It's about your business, your enterprise. He doesn't want to see that fail with the Three of Swords. He's looking at what could be lost in there being this like rumor or this belief that something is going on or something is wrong. And I feel like he wants there to be a fresh start for this to end as soon as possible. And I understand that because he really respects his friend. He wants him to come to an understanding and he wants there to be clarity, okay? Is there something that we're not, let me just see if there's something that we need to know in regards to what will happen. What will happen with regards to this? What is going to happen? What is going to come out of this situation? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What is going to come out of this situation? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Okay, so we have mature man coming through along with great fortune. Nice for that person. Official person, a role, toil and labor. So there's someone here that's going to be receiving a role, and I feel like this is Ned here who's going to receive a role. I see at the bottom thief, journey, and concern. He doesn't want something being stolen from him. So that's interesting. He doesn't want some opportunity to be affected by the situation as well. So he put himself out on a limb in sharing that this was a lie in order to help his friend. But I feel as though it's going to be okay for him. The work that he's spent in trying to become this official person here and whatever he's doing is going to work out for him. So he's going to be fine. How is Steve going to be, basically, spirit guides, angels, ancestors? How is Steve going to do? How is Steve going to do going forward with this situation? Okay, message, marriage, distant horizons. What's going to happen going forward? And we also have, oh, message of concern, occupation, and house. Okay, so we got, with regards to Steve Harvey, we got message is going to be coming through. Marriage, right? Distant horizons, and coffin. Okay, so that took another turn. All right, so we have Spirit saying that there's going to be a dissolution of a marriage here. So the situation is a message of concern here. I truly believe Ned believes that he is correct. Okay, I don't think that he believes that he would possibly be involved in anything that people are saying with regards to the allegations. He truly believes that nothing is wrong. Now, is there something wrong? Let's touch base on that here. Because I did that in the last reading, and I'll do it again in front of you guys, just to make sure. This video is getting pretty long. So let's just ask the question one more time. Current energies, but we're also just going to ask the same question for clarity and for confirmation on this. We have the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Cups. A lot of emotion is involved in this. Okay. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. Did Marjorie Harvey cheat on, I have to think, on Steve Harvey? Did Marjorie Harvey cheat on him? Let's see. Okay, we have 3 cards coming through. We have the Page of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Swords. There was communication and there was action taken towards something. And it feels, like I said in the last video, like something happened, was initiated between someone else and Marjorie, and the relationship is in this place of the Eight of Swords. I'm not sure why it keeps coming through despite what I'm hearing on for news reports. We have the Hermit, the Ace of Wands, and the Nine of Wands, keeping something going. Okay, taking action towards being resilient and focusing in on keeping things going, and continually, like, it's like they're keeping their heads down with the Hermit card. They're focusing on their inner world, taking the time in isolation to understand the situation, and they're just focusing on staying afloat. They're focusing on staying aboard. So I'm gonna say again, Ned doesn't believe it's happening, but it is happening. There's this indecision, this fear surrounding this situation here. There's someone that's so wrapped up in this. And it's not me, okay? So that is what I have for you all today. Thank you guys so much for being here, for going through this entire video. I hope it helped provide some insight and clarity on the situation that's going on right now with Steve Harvey and Ned Nwoko, with the whole rumor. I hope everything is clarified in the coming days, weeks, months, but we will see what happens. And I just hope that there's just love brought into the situation, that things heal, that things are going in the way that they're meant to go, that we're not trying to force this to happen, but that whatever's meant for their highest good will occur.